Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel, and today I want to talk to you about backseat drivers. You gotta love them, right? Not. Most people I know can't stand a backseat driver because they make you feel very irritated and frustrated and annoyed even. And if you ask them to stop, they usually don't, and they keep at it. And let's be honest, if we could stop the car and politely ask them to leave, we would, wouldn't we? Why? Because we know where we're going and we don't need anyone to keep telling us and acting as if we don't. Yet, we all have that voice in our mind, much like a backseat driver, that is incessant and goes on and on and on, always telling us which way to go, which way to turn, what to do, what not to do, what to think, what to feel. Just like a backseat driver. You know that voice, right? It's incessant and relentless. So I have a question for you. Have you ever stopped to ask, why do we entertain that voice? I mean, she's usually not nice. Very negative, extremely critical, immensely judging, habitual, repetitive, and quite limiting. So if this backseat driver, this incessant voice, is something that sounds familiar to you, guess what? You're not alone. Many of us have that backseat driver. And the key is figuring out how to drive with her, how to get to your destination, knowing some little simple steps to do in order to get to where you need to go, with her going on and on and on. So I'm going to go through 6 simple, very easy steps. And the first one you need to do is notice. That's right. You need to notice that you have a backseat driver. You need to look in your rearview mirror and see her there. And why do I mean you have to do that? It's because most people keep themselves very distracted and very occupied in life, keep themselves busy, so they don't have to deal with that voice. It seems easier to avoid it because she's not so pleasant. And so it's easier to put it off to the side and get yourself distracted. So just simply notice. That's step 1. The second is, once you see her there, you need to pause. You need to get yourself centered. You need to take some deep breaths, breathe, gain some clarity, and then go into the third step, which is accept. Accept her there. Accept the negativity. Accept the anger. Accept the frustration. Accept the fear that's going on. She's just going on. You just see her. We're not going to resist it. We're not going to avoid it. We're just going to accept that it's there. Because once you do that, you can get into the 4th stage, which is to separate yourself from her. You can just kind of gently imagine that you're putting her in the trunk of your car. Now she's in the back. You can't even hear her anymore. She's back there. We noticed her. We became centered. We accepted what she had to say. But now we're going to separate from her and say, you're back there. Because the 5th step declares, I'm the driver. I'm the one that knows where I need to go, and I'm going to go there. Which then leads us to the very last step, driving forward. Move forward. Get to the destination that you need to be at. Go to where you want to be without fear, without the anxiety, without the worry, without the anger, without the frustration. You're now in a more clear space, in a more calm space, in a more centered space, in a more contented space. Because she's not the one doing the driving. So that's it, really. Very simple, very easy. So the next time when you're really driving your car and you start talking out loud to your backseat driver, we know what you're doing. Who cares what other people think? do what you have to do in order to practice this. I know that it's not easy. It's very simple, but it's not so easy. And the more you practice it, the more you do it, the more you visualize it and play with it, the easier it becomes. And it's worth it because you have a destination to get to. Don't let her prevent you from getting there. And you know where you need to go. You know how to stare to get there. So take these little steps and that opportunity to go in the direction you need to be going to. Anyway, thanks again, and enjoy the journey.